Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Current Brand Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sports Ball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
Is there anybody there?
What's up, Deadhead crew? Ed here. And on this episode, I talked to Mike Sellers, who, as an Ohio kid, he loves his local teams. You know, the Detroit Tigers, the Georgia Bulldogs, and then also he likes the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nothing wrong with that, right? Anyways, he does have a good story for all of those guys, and he also tells us how he ranks all of the minor league ballparks that he's been to, major leagues, as well as other sporting events that he's attended. So without further ado, guys, I give you the episode. All right, well, I want to welcome you guys to yet another episode of the Dad Hat Chronicles. My name is Ed, and with me today, I got Mike Sellers. What's going on, my man?
Hey, Ed, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure. You know, it's one of those things where, you know some people on the Twitterverse, right? And you want to make sure that you get them on, and you're one of them, my friend.
I appreciate that. I love the little Twitter community we've worked on here, and even though most of us, I don't think, really know each other in person, but I feel like we're all friends now, and I can't wait to meet the ones that I haven't met yet.
Exactly. Isn't it a crazy world, right? Like, and I think this is why I've decided to really start releasing the video version as well, right? Because I want people to get to know, you know, the person behind that voice, right? Because obviously, you know, I'm seeing you, you're seeing me, but you know, other people get to know you as well, which it's awesome, right?
Right, exactly.
So let's just jump right in. All right.
right.
Let's go back to your childhood. Let's go back to, you know, what was that moment for you when you became a fan of and for you, you're a big, huge baseball fan, right? But I'm sure you like other sports like I do. So what was that moment for you?
So ever since I was a kid, my dad was a huge sports fan in general, and honestly, I don't think he even had a favorite sport. It was just all sports, pretty much.
All sports, all day, every day.
Exactly. So, you know, year round, I was watching whatever sports season it was. And probably when I was younger, actually, football was probably my favorite sport, even though, like I said, I loved baseball and all these other ones as well. I remember in October every year, you know, in baseball, me and my older brother, we'd be watching the playoff games, and we'd set up like pillows, you know, like at the opposite ends of the room, and we'd act like we were the base runners whenever someone was on base and stuff, and you know, we'd run.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I just always loved baseball. But like I said, football was my favorite growing up. I think the moment that made me turn more into a baseball fan was not until I was like 20, and I had recently started a new job, and the company was putting together this just recreational softball team, and I'd never played baseball other than just, you know, backyard baseball and stuff, or softball. So when I finally started joining that, even at just the recreational softball level, I still learned a lot more of the in and outs and stuff, and I got to really appreciate it more. And that it was not long after that when I started traveling more, so I started hitting these ballparks, and it just all escalated from there.
Isn't it fun though? Like, you know, just playing softball, and obviously, you know, it's not to the level of baseball, but listen, don't tell that to girls. These girls are some of the best athletes in the world when it comes to softball, right? I would not be able to hit a fast pitch softball. I'll be the first one to admit it. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I first started, not long after I started, I was dating this girl, and she played high school ball, and her best friend was playing with us, and they had played fast pitch. So I was like talking to her best friend. I was like, just throw me one fast pitch ball. I just want to see what it's like. And I was not trying. I didn't have a bat. Wasn't trying to hit it. I was just catching it. But even then, I was just like, whoa. Like I'll just stick to this slow pitch.
Let's just underhand slow
Yeah.
pitch and we're good. We don't have to go
Exactly.
into the whole fast pitch anymore. We're okay. I'll pass.
Exactly.
So obviously you're a Detroit Tigers fan, one of my team's newly named Guardians rivals, right?
Yes.
So are you also a Detroit Lions fan, or who's your NFL team?
So my NFL team is the Jaguars. I was never one of those to just stick with the local teams. When I was a kid, I started liking all these teams for random reasons, and I just stuck with them. So Jacksonville is my NFL team.
Okay, so where exactly do you live right now? So where's your area?
Near Cincinnati.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, so you're in the Cincinnati area. So you're not a Bengals fan. You're not a Reds fan. You went up north to go root for the Tigers, and then you decided to go to the Sunshine State and root for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Absolutely. And then for college football, it's Georgia, which is the same direction there, but still a little different. So I'm loving that we're number one, by the way.
Yeah, yes, you are. You are absolutely right. And you know what? I have to say that Alabama got off easy. They should have been lower than where they are right now. I think it's 5 or 6 or something like that. Yeah, 5. So I do not agree with that ranking at all. They lost to an unranked team. So, any SEC fan, I don't want to hear it. They should have gone lower than that.
Best news for all that to me, though, was just now we don't have to beat Alabama twice, because I thought we were going to have to beat them in the SEC championship and in the playoffs.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
One or the other.
I like it. Okay, so there has to be a story behind that, right? There has to be a story behind why you decided to root for the Detroit Tigers. And then there's a story behind why you decided to go root for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's up with that, my friend?
So there is a story behind all that. Like I said, it was all just completely random things when I was a kid. So
you picked out a name out of a hat and off it went?
Not quite that random, but close. It was when I was again, going back to my dad, even though he was a huge sports fan, he always liked players. He was never really a fan of a team either. So I didn't have like a team I felt connected to growing up.
Gotcha. Okay.
So even though I have 4 older siblings too, and all of them were like random teams across the country as well.
Seriously?
Seriously. Yeah. So when I was a kid was the 95 expansion for NFL, Panthers and Jaguars. And I liked new things, and my brother did too. So he just started becoming a Panthers fan because they were new. And I was like, well, I'm picking the other one. And I'm gonna like the Jaguars, and their colors were awesome.
Yeah, I like their new uniforms. I'll say that the new ones right now, they are nice. The whole black helmet with the Jaguar on this side, I'm a fan of that one. I'll give you that. Same with the Panthers though, right? I like the Panthers. Their colors are cool. I'm not gonna, I'm a Browns fan, so I can't really. I like them, but I'm not gonna, when it's the Browns, I'm gonna root for the Browns, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's very understandable. Because I don't root for all these local teams, I've got, obviously most of my friends I meet around here are fans of the local teams. So like whenever my team comes into town to play these guys, I try going to the game with friends that are fans of the local teams. And of course, I'm like Jacksonville played the Bengals just a week or two ago, and I'm just this one random teal spot in this sea of
orange and black. Yeah, exactly. And you know what though? I'll say this, man. Cincinnati now, they are good. That is a good team. Joe Burrow, man, you guys got lucky with him. That's a good team. And Chase, oh my God, is he good?
He's off to a great start. Yeah, they got that connection from going back from LSU.
Right, exactly. When LSU, and now they're just, blowing up, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. I just hope that they're, third behind, my team. And so the way I would put it, I would put the Browns and then Cincinnati, Steelers, and then, Baltimore somewhere in the bottom. That's what I want to see. But it most likely is going to be the Steelers in the bottom this year, which I'm okay with too. My wife, not so much.
Is she a Steeler fan?
Yep. So my wife is from the Youngstown area. So that's a very 50-50 area, right? Because it is right smack in the middle between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. So it's like, right there in the middle. So her family was Steelers fan. So she was a Steeler fan. So, What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's interesting at your house than when they're playing each other.
Yeah, mostly very lopsided for a lot of the years. It was her side, and then I was just sitting there like, yeah, go Browns.
Right.
So,
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't before Baker Mayfield, didn't Ben Roethlisberger have the most wins at that new Browns stadium?
that is correct. That is correct. And it's crazy because there was a lot of interviews where Ben Roethlisberger wanted to play for the Browns because he went to Miami, Ohio kid, wanted to play. Of course, the Browns being the Browns, like, nah, get out of here,
Right.
And the Steelers was like, no, please come.
Right.
That's how it goes. You can't,
Right. They're like, we'll stick with Jim Couch or whoever was the quarterback at the time.
We'll pick one of the many, the 150, quarterbacks that we've had. So, I can't talk much. So, I can't say it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your collection, because I know you have a pretty vast collection from what you've put out there. What is the one thing that you collect the most of?
I would say now it's probably hats now, but I'm not quite like Paul Caputo, where he's got all the ice cream helmets, or I'm not quite like Eric Mertens with all the hats. I kind of get a lot of several different things. So like started out with keychains. So to this day, I'll still get keychains at all the ballparks I'll go to.
That's really cool.
But,
yeah.
A lot of those, you get down to minor leagues. Most of the minor leagues have it, but definitely not all of them. Then you get down to
once you get to the lower level, the lower ranks of the minor leagues, it's very rare that you're going to find a lot of tchotchkes and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say, hats is probably my thing. I have recently started collecting the ice cream helmets the last year or so, like Paul.
Nice.
Speaking of it, I want to give a shout out to the Fort Wayne Tin Caps and the Charlotte Knights, because I'd already been to a ton of ballparks before I even started doing that. So just a couple weeks ago, how these minor league teams are great at communication and stuff, way better than the major leagues and NFLs. So I sent out an email to every one of the teams that I had been to already that did not have an ice cream helmet, and just kind of told them my story. Like, I started collecting it, but I didn't do it till after I went to your park. And of all the ones I sent it to, Fort Wayne and Charlotte actually responded, and just like that, up and sent me an ice cream helmet of their team. So I want to shout out to them.
Shout out to, that's awesome. The Charlotte Knights, Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Good for you guys. That's awesome. This is why I love the minors right there. Right.
100%. Yeah.
Because if you were to do, let's be honest, right? If you were to do that with the major leagues, what are the chances that you're going to get an ice cream helmet sent to you?
Zero.
They'll tell you to kick rocks, and then you can come and get it yourself if it's one available.
Right. And if you get lucky and even get a response, they'll be like, yeah, it's $10.
Right. Hold on. Exactly. $10 plus shipping and handling.
Right. Yeah,
exactly. And the service fee for us actually go get it and sending it to you.
Right.
So that's awesome. So you're collecting ice cream. I only have a handful of them. They're back there. I have the Mudcats when I went to go get it.
Nice.
I was there. I got a couple of Indians ones, and shout out to JJ. He actually sent me that one again with the Vermont Lake Monsters. I love that logo. I don't know what it is about the Vermont Lake Monsters. It's just a cool logo, right?
It is, yeah. My niece plays like she's just like 8 or 9. No, she's 10 now, I guess. Anyway, she plays at one of those just like T-ball baseball leagues, and that's her team, is the Lake Monsters. And so every time I see her playing, it's like, I just keep thinking of Vermont,
Yeah, that's awesome. Love it. Okay, so how many hats are you up to?
How many of the hats? Is that what you said? Let's see. I don't actually have a specific count, but if I had to estimate, I would say it's probably 50, 60, maybe.
I like it. And then how many ice cream helmets do you have?
Ice cream, let's see. I got those right behind me. I can count those.
There they are. Oh, and you even have them all nice and, stacked up and everything. Look at that.
I did. That was a little quick idea I had. I was like, again, going back to Paul, I saw his idea. And mine's just embarrassing compared to his total. But
How
it's
cool
a
is that thing though, right? How he
Oh my
wanted that
gosh.
shelf made, right?
Yeah, right.
That's dream status right there for me. I was like, I want
Oh yeah,
somewhere eventually, where I put all these hats behind me, right? Get them all
exactly.
set up,
Right.
so
And then to organize it by league and affiliation level and all that, it's
see,
amazing.
to me, and that's cool. I just like the randomness of it. I don't know what it is. Somebody asked me on Twitter the other day when I posted the picture as I was going along. I was like, "Oh, how do you have it set up?" I'm like, "I don't. I just pick a hat and put him up there random."
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife. She actually was the one who told me that I needed to put more colors behind me. So for the video, so that's why there's a lot more pop behind me right now. So there's
That was
that.
a good idea. Got a good idea.
Yeah, well, I call her the CFO with this little, Deadhead Chronicles adventure that we have going on here.
See, I'm like you. I do it the random way, but my reasoning is just that laziness. I don't want to go into the detail of all that organizing.
Right. Now I see behind you, you have a little case full of baseballs.
Yes.
Those
So,
baseballs are because I've heard it on the podcast before on the baseball bucket list, right? With Anna.
Yeah.
Are those is that the ones you have in there as well? The ones that you've thrown out first pitch?
that is not in there. That is right behind me there on the top shelf.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. These ones over here on the wall are one of my goals is to get a baseball from every minor league with the name on it, and then also every collegiate conference. So the ones on the wall there, those are all the college ones with all the SEC logos, Big Ten, ACC, etc. And that bat up there, that's like my favorite memorabilia thing I have. And that's a bat of my grandpa's with his name engraved on it. And he didn't play, but he did like in high school, just back in the day. But that bat, he was a traveling salesman. And that was like late 70s. He went to Louisville before it was commonplace just to get your name engraved on the bats. The guy he was at gave him a engraved Puk Sellers wood bat there. And
that's
just
awesome.
literally, yeah. And then just a few years ago, he knew how much I loved baseball, so he gave it to me. And then 2 years ago, he passed away. So that's like my favorite.
You'll never get. I was actually going to ask you, what was the one item that no matter how much it's worth, or because obviously we as fans, we put a value, right, a monetary value.
Yeah.
But there's some things that they just don't have any. There it is unlimited amount of value, right? So
exactly.
You said that because I was going to ask you about that. So that's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, that would definitely be the answer to that one. Like I said, it's not worth, if I tried selling everything I owned, that's not the one that would get the most money, but that's the last one I would try to sell.
Yeah, I would even, it's like, it's a non-starter for me right now.
Exactly.
It's actually the baseball where I took my daughter to her very first Indians game. Well, first with the name, right? First and last. So it was her very first baseball game. It's funny because I was trying to get her on the TV, but I couldn't get her on TV, right? So the cop was like, "Oh, wait, hold on," because we made a sign for her for the game and everything. And again, this is the difference between minor league and major league, right? Major leagues know about it even better than I,
right?
The team, right?
Yeah.
A cop saw the sign. And he says, like, wait, is this her very first game ever? And I'm like, yeah, very first game. She's never been to a game. And she goes, like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. She's like, and then he grabbed from his back pocket. He had one of the balls from the home run from that game and gave it to her.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. And I put, her name on it and Mia's first game and then the date and everything, which was on my birthday as well, which is even better, right?
Yeah. It's not that it needed an extra.
Exactly.
You got it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So I love it. How many keychains do you have?
I have, let's see, probably 60 about as well.
Oh, wow. So you have a handful of them. You got quite a few. Now, do you display them or do you keep them all in one spot?
I put them on, it's like, I don't know if you can see, but it's like that third shelf back there.
Love it. Yep. There it is, right there, right under the baseballs.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's too many to just hang on a wall or whatever, unless I get a bigger room, but I would still want them displayed somehow. So
Yeah, I'm sure you got plans for big huge display of all this stuff, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I just bought my first house about a year ago, so now even that's an upgrade room wise for how much space I have.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, it's still, it's not too big, so it's eventually
big enough for you, right? Listen, I just upgraded from the basement to the bedroom, which was the spare bedroom above the garage. So this is, so
one step at a time, right?
Right, exactly. Wait, we're one step at a time, my friend. One step at a time.
Yes.
So tell me, I want to, you've also gone into this, data sheet of, ranking your baseball stadiums and all that, and you've gone over this a lot. Do you enjoy doing that? Is that your biggest passion of just going in and just really you go in there? I'll be honest with you. I really see you as one person going in there with a notepad, looking around the ballpark and taking notes and all that, like a little notepad. That's what I literally see you in my mind doing.
I don't literally bring the notepad, but I'm exactly doing that exactly. I'm taking pictures of every angle. Because I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't care if this is only a slightly different angle, and I just took a picture. I'm gonna take a million pictures now. If I can look back later, if I need to delete them, I can delete them. But I can't retake them after I'm gone.
Your phone must be full of those.
Absolutely, it is. And then even when I revisit local parks or whatever, I'm just taking pictures. Maybe not quite as much, but a lot of them all over again.
Have you thought about doing like a its own Instagram page, or doing like a web page or something along those lines, putting a video of each ballpark to keep record of it?
Yeah, I actually about a year ago I did start my own Instagram page with pictures of all the ballparks I've been to.
What is the name, my friend? Go ahead and shout it out right here.
Yeah. It's born_2, not the number, but TO, then _baseball. Because I was born to baseball is what I say. So it's got my name on there, Mike Sellers, as well for the actual name. But yeah, everybody go give that a follow. And I did it. And when I finally started it, I went back, from all the years and did it in order of the ballparks I visited.
Oh my God, that must have taken some serious time, my friend.
Yeah, it did, but it would have taken a lot more if I wasn't already documenting these.
You're right. Absolutely. It does pay to document everything nowadays.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to send you once we're done with this, I'm gonna have to send you a link to this because it's like my whole baseball life. It's like not only am I ranking all the ballparks, but I've got other things on there. I've got stats of all the teams I've seen play, their records and all the games I've seen, how many times I've been to every park, even the Reds.
You go into detail about this.
Oh yeah. So, and that's just the beginning, my friend. I'm gonna have to send this to you, and so you can look at it. I've even got all the baseball movies I've seen. I rank them. What are my favorite baseball movies? And
okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's hear it out. Wait, give me your top 5 baseball movies.
Okay.
And you can do it. You can do it from 1 to 5 or 5 to 1. You pick.
Okay. I'm gonna do 5 to 1. That's always more exciting.
It is more exciting.
Yes. All right. So number 5, A League of Their Own.
Great movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
Oh yeah. I really want to go. Of course, I wanted to see it anyway, just because it's another park. But I really want to go see Evansville Ballpark now too, because that's where they did a lot of the filming. So yeah, that's number 5. Number 4, The Natural.
Okay. Yeah. Great movie. Another great movie. Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Number 3, The Rookie. And most people wouldn't have that one quite that high, but I love that one.
So explain to me, why did you rank it at number 3?
So on these movies, I didn't actually break it down to categories. It's like I did with my stadiums. This is all just feelings and stuff. But I love how you get to see the game action,
the story behind it.
Yeah, and it was cool too because again, it's a fairly recent story.
It is, yeah.
So it's not. Which nothing wrong with the old 100-year stories, but
no, but it's something that we as fans who are living through this time, we can relate to. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of those kind of things, and just kind of that it factor. Some of it's hard to explain.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, But when I get to the number one, I can tell you exactly why I like that.
Okay. What's number 2?
Number 2 is 42.
Oh my God. Yeah. Such a good movie though.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved that one. And yeah, Chadwick Boseman did such a great job, as well as everyone else. But I love that movie. Yeah. I want to actually haven't seen. I'm pretty sure that's like an older movie called The Jackie Robinson Story, and I have not seen that. I want to watch that one.
I think that's the one where he starred as himself.
Does he? Okay. Yep. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not. I'm ashamed to say that I have not.
Yeah, but don't feel too bad. As big of a baseball fan as I am, I didn't see a lot of these movies until more recently than I'd care to admit. So,
hey, listen, it's okay. I took a class in college where they had you watch like those black and white movies and all that, and that's when I really started watching a lot of those older movies, black and white baseball movies. So yeah, you should definitely take a look at those. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think Minor League Baseball, the website, they rank some of those movies, and there was a couple of black and white movies in there, and yeah, you should definitely take a look because it was related to Minor League Baseball. So you definitely take a look at that.
I have seen a few of the black and white ones, like Pride of the Yankees and stuff. Because when I was growing up, my dad, like movies we'd watch on TV were a lot of those 1940s and 50s movies.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but the number 1 is Moneyball. And the reason for that, among other reasons, is, as you can tell, probably from all these statistics I keep.
Yeah, I was just going to say the statistics to you, it just makes sense.
Exactly, 100%. And Brad Pitt does so well in there. And again, it's a more recent story that I literally remember that winning streak the A's had. And
I do remember that. Yeah, my brother Gardo, he's a huge Oakland A's fan.
Okay.
Same thing, like, well, I was growing up in Puerto Rico, he automatically gravitated toward the Oakland A's, and ever since he's been an Oakland A's fan. I became an Indians fan. He's an Oakland A's fan, and ever since Canseco, McGuire, those So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's by far my favorite one. And when I first saw it, I don't think I saw it literally in theaters, but it was like right around the time it came out. And then I went a good long while without seeing it again. So a lot of times when you see something and you don't see it for a while, in your mind,
just sit there.
Expectations, are like too high. So when you rewatch it, maybe it doesn't live up to the expectations, but this time it totally lived up, if not exceeded it. So I'm like, yeah, this is easily the best.
So I'm going to ask you because I have a couple of my top movies, right? My top 3 is Major League. Obviously, I'm from Cleveland. So if you're not a Cleveland and you're not a Major League fan, something's wrong with you, right? Bull Durham. And then, Field of Dreams.
Sandlot.
No, Field of Dreams. Those are my top 3. Sandlot is in there, but Field of Dreams, those are my top 3. Okay. Where are those ranked in your list?
Those ones, Major League is number 12. I like that one, but I actually liked the third one, Back to the Minors, even more. And it's probably because I'm a minor league person.
Yeah, because we're both minor league guys. I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But and don't get me wrong, a lot of these, just like my ballparks, even if they're not high, doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's obviously those are your favorite up to you, right? Like, I mean, for me, I like it. Like I said, my top 3 are different than your top 3, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't mean they can't all be great movies. It's just
absolutely.
I might relate a little more to one or the other. Yeah. Let's see. The other one's Field of Dreams is number 19 on my list.
Okay. All right.
And Bull Durham is number 24, which it's probably surprises most people.
It does. I'm very surprised, but it's okay. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. To each their own.
Hey, thank you. And I just had this thing earlier today about and I don't want to give them too much credit, but the dude from he's so forgettable, I forgot his name, but from Barstool Media going off on John Cusack because he's going in there to root for the White Sox. So what? Yeah, it's a Chicago team. Let them root for whoever they want.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. It's one thing. I mean, nothing wrong with rooting for whoever you want to, but I can understand a little smack talk or whatever if you want. That's totally different than just actually going off on someone
and being obnoxious about it.
Right, exactly.
I think that most of us that are minor league fans, right? I think for the most part, we all just like the leagues. Not,
Oh,
you know what I mean? We
mhm.
all root for every single team. I have no problem rooting for every single team in the minors at all.
I completely. I don't know if I've ever gone to a minor league game where I didn't just root for the home team.
Yeah,
If I'm
what's
not
wrong? There's nothing wrong with that.
exactly like, I mean, if I'm watching, if I'm just keeping track of a game at home, of course I'll root for the Tigers affiliates or my local team, or I love the city of Nashville, so I always root for the Sounds.
Yeah, again, nothing wrong with that. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome. Now, do you score keep even watching TV?
I do not. I do not score keep. Actually, I don't, believe it or not, I don't even do that even when I'm at the game. I think it's
No.
more so, yeah. I think it's more that I'm there to see the stadium more than I am to see the game. Not that I don't care about the game, but I'm walking around, I'm getting up for different angles. And
Me too. I've never scored keep. It's one of those things that I should learn. I would like to learn eventually, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I'm more of the let me look at everything, right? Let me look at the entertainment.
Exactly.
Let me look at what. I'll be honest. Like I even look at what their teams are wearing. Okay, let me see this uniform. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
do
Well, you
do
don't have to
the
at minor league.
right exactly because there so many times they have so many different uniforms that they're wearing, right? Because I could be wearing
Right.
a Copa hat or something different, Copa
Mhm.
logos.
Exactly. And even the regular ones are, jumbo shrimp and yard goats and trash
Right.
panda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right. I pay attention to those things. And as a father now,
Mhm.
I started also paying attention to amenities for kids, what's going to be fun for them. Do they have a fun zone or something like that in order for me
Yeah.
to,
Sure.
because I have a 3-year-old, she's not going to need
Yeah.
attention. Although, give her credit, she was very, very well behaved and very entertained at the Indians game. And we were sitting, you know, up pretty high and she was paying attention. She loved the fireworks when someone hit a home run. So she wanted more fireworks.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's a major league game, which is less designed for kids. I mean, if you take to a minor league game, there's going to be way more for her to do.
Right. The entertainment part is there. I'll give them this though. Like, in the recent years, they did upgrade and the Indians did. There is a whole section now. It's all for kids. It's a kids zone.
Not really.
Yeah. And which is one of my gripes for you because you rank the Indians pretty low, but I'm gonna agree with you because at that point they really didn't have a lot of going on there. So I mean,
and that is one thing I want to preface with my rankings is, I mean, some of these teams may have made changes since I've been there, or because some of them I've only been at one time. Maybe it was a Tuesday afternoon and the atmosphere wasn't as well.
And it's a totally different experience than if you were at a Friday night.
Exactly.
It's just the way it is.
Right.
But now they have a section where it's only for kids. It's all behind a glass wall, right? They're right in the front. There's some chairs for the parents to sit down, and while the kids are playing behind them, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And also, they're going to be doing some multi-million-dollar renovations also as well coming up. So I would wait for you to come to Cleveland and then see that.
I'll be going there soon probably because so I started doing these road trips with one of my brothers, and then he got married. He's got a kid, so he's not as available these days.
I get it.
Right around the time that started happening, my other brother started getting interested in this. So I've been going on some road trips with him. Yeah. And he's not been to Cleveland yet. So we'll probably be going there soon. Yeah.
Let me know and we'll definitely meet up to go watch a game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we also gotta go watch a minor league game too. So I mean you're up here.
Yeah.
Plenty of minor league teams up here, right?
Yeah. I went to Lake County for the first time this year, but I haven't been to Lake Erie Crushers yet.
Oh yeah. Good ballpark. Shout out to Kelly and Christina. We went to a game there this year, Calibration. So yeah, it's a cool ballpark. It's a cool little ballpark. I'm with, when we went in there, I was telling them, it's like, I'm a fan of natural grass at a ballpark. I just don't know what it is about the synthetic field. I can't get really behind it, but I understand why minor league teams do it. I get it. Right. Cost effective.
Yeah.
The way it goes.
Yeah. But I agree. It doesn't look quite the same. And I don't mind seeing it here and there because I like things that are unique. So, seeing it here and there, it's just kind of a nice change of pace.
Exactly.
Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. I like the real grass way better.
Let me ask you, because we were just talking about ranking and all that.
Mm.
Has recently your list changed in ranking? Have you done any movement? Because I'm sure that's a evolving ranking, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And so every time I revisit a park, I always go back and see if I need to tweak anything, because not only they may have changed something or added something, but even if they didn't, maybe I just misremembered something, or I just changed my opinion slightly on something.
Which is
So obviously,
you should always do that.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, every time I revisit one, I do that. But every now and then, even without revisiting, I'll like go back to the rankings, and I'll like look over, because sometimes even I agree, like based off the system, I'll be thinking like, I really don't think team A should be ahead of team B. And I'm like, let me look at these rankings, and
Let's take a look at
maybe
it.
I'm like, oh, whoa, I
Sure.
totally missed it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do update it from time to time, but mostly just if I've revisited any one of the parks.
And like you said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So you done here. Let me see. And I'm reading from your Twitter page right here. Okay.
Okay.
So you have 22 major league teams
Mhm.
that you visited, 39 minor league, 16 NCAA, 2 collegiate summer ballparks so far.
Yeah.
These 2 collegiate, where did you go for these 2 teams? Let's start there.
Those, okay, that's both are about an hour away from where I live. One's in Springfield, Ohio. That's the Champion City Kings.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. And the other one is in Chillicothe, the Paints, which
The
used to be a
Paints.
Frontier League team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the 2 collegiate summer league teams I've seen, and some of the minor league ones I've seen were Appalachian League teams. So they
This
were in
is
the minor leagues when I saw it.
I was just
But
gonna
now
say,
they're
is this pre changes and all that?
I base it off what was it when I saw it. So if I go there again, then I don't think I would remove it from the minor leagues, because it was still a minor league one when I saw it, but then I would add it to the collegiate summer.
I was just
Or
gonna
like,
say,
for
because they're no longer. Oh, you're taking the questions right out of my mouth, my friend. I was gonna ask you, I was like, would you move them from the minor league because they're no longer minor league, right? Now they're summer collegiate, which, talking to Anderson Rathbun, he's like, it's turned out to be a great thing for them down in the Appalachian League.
Yeah, it seems like it has. Yeah, I have debated that, because I'm like I said, my rule is just what was it last time I saw it. But on the other hand, I'm like, I still saw it as a minor league park. I
Right.
feel like it should erase it and drop my count from 39 to 38 just because I revisited it.
Well, and at the same time, you said it's like they were a minor league, affiliated team at that point. Now you
Exactly.
can just say, okay, now I'm looking at it from the spectrum of they are a summer collegiate league, and then go there.
Exactly. And maybe they've made changes to it and stuff. And like one of the categories I have in my rankings is, for the minor league ones, is what level are they? So obviously that changes sometimes too. So like, I've got, like, even my local Dayton Dragons, until this year they were just low A, and then
But now they're high A, right?
Yeah. So as soon as first game I went to this year, all of a sudden I bumped them up. But if I never went to another game, I would have just left it as a low A, because last time I visited it to rank it, it was still a low A.
Now, do you live pretty close to the Dragons?
Yeah, it's still like 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how the traffic
is. It's not that bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like for me, because I live on the outskirts of Cleveland, so you're looking at a half hour, 45 minutes sometimes with traffic to go to the Indians game. Now the Captains, that's 10 minutes if that down the road. So I'm closer to that one.
That's be convenient. Yeah. Like I said, the 30 to 40 minutes isn't too bad, but if I was as close as 10 minutes, I'd just get season tickets. And
let's be honest, it's cheaper, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the beauty of the minor leagues.
Oh yeah, especially with the way minor league offers options of even your season tickets don't literally have to be every single home game. You can get smaller packages.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk. You've done a lot of rankings for baseball, low leagues, college and everything. What about like, American football? Are you looking to also do any soccer stadiums or anything like that where you are going to be ranking them and going to these events?
Yeah. So actually, like I said, I like to go to these other sports stadiums as much as I can. So even though the quantity of stadiums I've seen in other sports are way less, I still, every time I go to see one, I chart it and I rank it and stuff. So I've got like 6 NFL stadiums, 2 or 3 NBA, 3 or 4 NHL, and then like 10 college basketball, 2 college football. And so yeah, I still rank them. It's just not nearly as much.
That's nearless. Which NFL stadiums have you been to? You obviously Jacksonville, right? And Paul Brown Stadium.
Yes, been to those, but Jacksonville, when I was there, it was June, so I was not able to see a game, but I did get a tour of the stadium.
Have you been to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland?
I have not been there. No, I've driven past it. But yeah, it's Bengals, Jacksonville, Cowboys, Packers, Chiefs, and Colts.
Gotcha. What about the Packers? I've never been there. Is it pretty legendary as people think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cool thing about that is all these other ones are in these, huge cities, with all these skyscrapers everywhere around.
And this one is the suburbs, right?
Yeah. It's like literally just running through like these little subdivisions. You might see a mall or something like that. And then it's this enormous stadium just right there. And it's awesome. And yeah, it's definitely worth going there. And it was a tour. I didn't see an actual game there, so it's probably the atmosphere, I'm sure, is way better.
Oh, it's totally different. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it was really nice. I ranked the Cowboys stadium better, but other than that, the Packers.
I mean, can you compete though? Like Cowboy Stadium, it's like the level. The one I would love to go would be SoFi Stadium. That thing, from everything that I've seen, from all the because I've done some virtual tours of it, because I'm very intrigued about it. I mean, this thing is like,
how can you not be?
Right? Yeah. It's insane.
Or Allegiant Stadium. A guy I work with is a Raiders fan. He just went to a game there a week or 2 ago. He says it's amazing.
There's a DJ and everything in there. Yeah. Like, I mean, come on. Yeah. And if they get a baseball team, forget it. I mean, that Vegas is going to be jumping.
Right. They already got the NHL team. Now they got the NFL team. And I think it's probably just a matter of time before baseball goes there. They already got the minor league, but.
Let me ask you, if you were to pick, because obviously there's been some rumblings, right, with Oakland, looking into moving, and now Tampa, the owner saying that it is not sustainable to keep the team there in Tampa. If you were to put your money, right, which one would you think would be the one that would go to Vegas before anything else?
I think Oakland, because for one is I feel like they're in a little more urgency to actually move.
That Coliseum is just the not the Coliseum, their ballpark is just falling apart.
Yeah, exactly. And it just makes more sense if one was going to move there for it to be Oakland, because they're already out west. They're minor league affiliates there, so that would be my money, is that Oakland would be there. I would like to see Nashville get either, if one of them moves, either get those teams or an expansion, because that's like my favorite city in the world, and it's a growing city as well.
Would you change affiliation right off the bat as soon as Nashville gets a team?
If it was an expansion team, then I don't think I would instantly put them above the Tigers. They would instantly be number 2, and I can definitely see them working their way. But I think if it was like the Rays or A's moving there, I don't think I would instantly jump them up as much.
Right.
So okay. Feel as much.
You'll have a tryout period.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, heck, the Yankees could move there, and I hate the Yankees, but the Yankees could move there, and I'd eventually probably start liking them, just how much I love Nashville.
Got it. Nashville sounds, man. They got a nice ballpark. They're right downtown, aren't they?
They are. Yeah. It's super nice. I've been there a couple times. Actually, a funny story. So me and my friend, he's also a Georgia fan. So a couple weeks ago, we drove down to Nashville for the Vanderbilt game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And which, first of all, was a great game. 62-0. It was like 90% Georgia fans, even in Nashville.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but then after that game, that was a noon game. Well, the Sounds were in town for like their second to last game of the year. So we're like, let's set up a Sounds game in the evening. So we go there, and my friend, he's a huge sports fan, but he's more football and basketball more than baseball. But he likes baseball. But he gets there, and it gets to about the 7th inning, and he starts getting a little bored. So he just starts booing and heckling the outfielder. And the fact that he was actually booing Nashville's outfielder.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And for literally no reason. He was
smart.
Just, yeah. And it wasn't like he committed an error or anything. He was just bored and just
bored out of his mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So this group of 5 or 6 people right ahead of us start looking back, giving us angry looks. And after a minute, they even start just like clapping and cheering super loud to try offsetting it. Well, the outfielder eventually notices it because we're not far from the field. He turns around and just starts cracking up laughing at the combination of it. And it must have been one of those 5 or 6 people, because no one else seemed to care. One of those people must have complained, because a security guy comes up to us, and I'm just there sitting quiet the whole time, just kind of chuckling at what's going on.
Right.
The security guard comes up to my friend. He's like, "Hey, who you with, buddy?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's with me." He's like, "All right, you guys got to go. Time to go."
Really?
So
they kicked you guys out?
Kicked us out with like no warning or anything. And I'm thinking, I can understand why some people might have been annoyed, especially because it was the home outfielder. But he wasn't doing anything nearly bad enough to be kicked out with no warning.
Exactly. I mean, it's part of the game. Heckling is part of the game. I mean, go to West Virginia. You got the Toastman who does the heckling nonstop. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I even told my friend, I was like, "Dude, you're doing the exact same thing, but you were just doing it to the road outfielder. I don't think anybody would have even cared."
They would have said that single thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yes, I guess I got to experience something new. It's the first time I was ever kicked out of a baseball game.
You should put that on your Twitter page. Got kicked out of a ballpark.
Right. I should do that. My brother joked with me. He's like, he knows how much I enjoy going to baseball games. He's like, "How funny would that be if you got banned from baseball for life because of that?" And I'm like, that would not be very funny.
No, it would not be very funny at all. I hope it doesn't happen. You would. If I was you, I'd be like, "Listen, it was him. I told him. Okay, what do you want me to do? I am sorry. I will send a letter apology, a video, and everything. Don't kick me out. Kick him out."
Yeah, they're just kicking me out for the game. I just kind of sucked it up and just went along with them. If they start trying to ban me from something, that's exactly what.
At that point, listen, you're on your own. We're friends, but we're not. Right. Listen, it's baseball, my friend.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. All right, so 2022, are you already starting to work on developing a plan for what you're going to be doing? Any ballparks that you want to hit this next year?
I'd usually start getting into specifics more like in the beginning of the year, like January or something, when I start getting super bored from the off season.
Yeah.
And part of it depends. My family, we take a family vacation once a year for like a week, and we go to different places and stuff. So every year I tell them, I'm like, I really don't care where we go as long as there's minor league teams within an hour or two of there, so I can kind of drift off on my own days here and there. So part of it will depend where we go for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I've got a friend that lives in North Carolina. I go visit her usually like once a year. And North Carolina is a minor league heaven. So it
is so many good ballparks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dream state. I so want to move to North Carolina.
I totally get it now. Yeah, because not only is it nice anyway with the mountains and stuff. But yeah, so literally every time I go down there, I see at least 1 or 2 new parks and stuff. So I'll probably see 1 or 2 new ones there. And then I'm hoping to Glenn. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. But Glenn on Twitter, part of our community, is trying to organize a meeting of some of us at a Jacksonville game.
That's right. He sent me a message as well. So at the Jumbo Shrimp, I'm like, I like the Jumbo Shrimp. I'm good with that. So
I already got a hat and jersey of them. So
I actually have a hat from the Jumbo. Yep, is right there. That one right there.
Nice. Is that the one with the Florida silhouette?
Yes, yes, sir. Absolutely. So I
Good.
love that logo.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
That's
I
probably
also
my
like
favorite.
their old logo, right? The sun. So don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
like their
yeah.
ones. There's some logos that are old that I just wish they would be back, like the manatees. Man, I wish that one, the Brevet County manatees, so want that team to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I agree. Most of the rebrands are good rebrands, but some of the time they're still getting rid of good ones as well.
Yep. Yep. Like the Fire Frogs, they just
Yeah.
gone and
Right.
just never to be seen again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you there. All right. So are you ready for my famous, not so famous questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. The very first question I ask is the one that everybody gets, no matter what, is you go to the ballpark. What do you get? What's the snack or food of choice that you get?
Well, the first thing I always do is I go and try to find something unique and local to the ballpark.
Good man. Good man.
If that's not, if I don't, yeah, if that's not available, my go-to thing is probably a cheeseburger. As far as if we're talking standard kind of
Boom.
stuff.
Get it done and over with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. What was the last song that you downloaded, or if you haven't downloaded any songs, what's the last song that you listened to?
I do not download songs, so but I listen to music all the time. But the last one I listened to is classic, was American Pie from Don McLean.
Good man. That's a good one. Okay. What is the worst job that you've ever had?
Worst job?
Yep.
I've actually not had too many different ones, so I'm gonna say the worst one was I was a dishwasher at you familiar with Skyline Chili for the local
Yes.
Cincinnati?
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a bad job. I just haven't had very many different ones because I've stuck with the same ones. So I would say that would be the worst.
Okay, listen, don't hate me. But Skyline Chili is one of those things, is you either love it or you don't. There's no in between for Skyline Chili. And unfortunately for me, I fall on I am not a fan of Skyline Chili.
So you agree with the whole Mets announcer? Did you hear about that this year?
No, I did not.
The Mets were in town with Cincinnati, or in town, or actually it might not have even been in Cincinnati, but they were playing Cincinnati.
They were playing Cincinnati.
Either way, he started talking about Cincinnati local stuff, and he just started trashing the Skyline Chili. And then these fans on Twitter and whatnot the next day were just like going crazy about it. So the next day when they played again, he's like apparently people were offended by my Skyline Chili comment. He's like, it's disgusting, but don't get me wrong, there are other good foods in Cincinnati.
Listen, and we're Ohioans here, right? There's just that one thing I just can't get past it, because we have it up here as well. I mean, it's all the way up. Yeah, there's like one restaurant 5 minutes from my house. I tried it. At least I tried it. I can say I tried it, but
that's the most important thing.
Right. You can't just say that you hate something without trying it. That's just idiotic, in my opinion. So
I agree. I like, even beyond just the ballparks I'm going to, when I'm doing these travels, I like to try some of the local restaurants and different kind of foods. And like you said, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but you've at least tried it, and then now you know.
Exactly. Next time you try something different.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Blue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, did you have a nickname, and what was that nickname?
It's funny you asked that question, because ever since I was like an infant, my nickname was Puk.
Puk?
For just puking all the time. And the funny reason you asked me that is, to this day, every one of my siblings calls me Puk, way more than they call me Mike. My best friends call me Puk. I've got like a personalized Jaguars jersey with the name Puk. When I played softball, I put Puk on there.
Embrace it. That's amazing.
That's actually, if you noticed on my Twitter handle, it's 32 is my favorite number, so it's meant to be Puk Sellers, and just the middle is the E from Puk, and the S for the beginning of Sellers is 32. So
PUK 32 ELLERS. You got that right. Yeah. See, mine was growing up. Everybody I was like, "Where are you from?" Like, I'm from Puerto Rico. I was like, "But you're a gringo. You're white." I'm like, "I'm not." So ever since then, that was my nickname. It was like the whole time. than everybody else. Like, so I just stuck with it, and I embraced it. So
That's
I
the
get
thing.
it.
Yeah, just do it. It becomes unique to
Exactly. It
to
becomes
us.
a part of you at some point. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
what's your favorite board game?
The only board games I like are like strategy games. I don't like the ones like Pictionary where you have to draw or thing like that.
Yeah.
So I would say my favorite one. I really don't play any of them too much, but I would say if checkers or chess counts, then I would say chess. If that
Chess
counts.
is a great game. I suck at it, but it's a really good game.
Absolutely, same here.
Okay. If your life had a mascot, right? If your whole life had a mascot, what would that mascot be?
Ooh. That's a good question. I think because I'm such a baseball fan, I'd have to be like one of those like Mr. Red or Mr. Met, where I'm actually a baseball, and then just the hat would be a green hat because that's my favorite color, and it'd probably be number 32 as a logo because that's my favorite
Love
number.
it.
Yeah.
You know what? You should make it. Design it, make it, and then put it into a hat. I love it.
I'll start working on that.
There you go. I love it. What was the dumbest way that you've ever got injured?
That's a good question too. The initial way I can think of is so where I work, we make aluminum display cases, and ones with doors on it and stuff. And when you're putting the doors together, you put like 3 sides like this first, and you put the plexiglass in it, and then you put the 4th side on. Well, when you have all 3 sides together, the edges are almost like knives as far as how sharp they are. And, I was putting all 3 together, and then I just happened to be like bringing my hand down like this, and my pinky finger just caught the top of it and just cut it. It still wasn't like terrible, but they just could not stop it from bleeding, so they had to take me to the hospital just because the bleeding wouldn't stop. And I'm like, not only did I feel weird because it was literally my pinky finger, but just the way it happened was literally just just thinking about whatever I was and just swinging my hand back.
Oh my God. I get it. I we've all gotten injured one way or another, my friend.
Yeah, right.
I'm at the age right now where if I get up or sneeze the wrong way, I'm pulling my back. So
my dad told me, he's like, there's 3 stages of pain. He's like, when you're younger, you know exactly why you're hurt and you heal quickly. He's like, when you're older, you don't know why you hurt and you don't heal quickly. And then there's the middle stage of you still know why you hurt, but you don't heal quickly. That's where I'm at now. I still young enough to know why I'm hurting, but old enough to be hurting for a while.
I'm 40 right now. I know how I get hurt, right? I've been there, I've experienced it. I know it takes me a while.
Yeah.
It's just how that goes. I get it. I get it.
So we're at the same stage there.
Right. Okay, growing up, who was your celebrity crush?
Natalie Portman. So I like Star Wars. So when I was out seeing those Star Wars,
Are you reading my questions? Because that was my next one. Are you Star Trek or Star Wars?
What are Star Wars?
Either it was Star Trek or Star Wars.
100% Star Wars. I don't even watch the Star Trek and Star Wars. I watched them all a million times. I love them.
Look, even the prequels and everything. You don't care. You just gonna watch them.
Yeah, honestly, I totally admit the prequels are not as good as the originals.
Right, but I still watch them.
Not only that, but when I was a kid, that's what was in the theaters. That's the toys I saw in the stores. So I watched those a lot. Almost, again, I admit they're not as good, but I probably watch them actually more because it just reminds me of, this is the ones I saw in the theaters, and those are the characters I grew up with.
You attach a memory to that movie. Right. And that's how it goes. Like baseball events, you attach a memory to that, when we're collecting, you attach a memory. And I'm with you. I've actually made my wife watch the whole thing.
What did she think? Had she never seen them before?
Before she met me, she'd never really seen them. She was like, I've seen them off here and there. And I'm like, wait a second. You've what? Right? We watched them all.
That's funny you say that. Yeah, because I was a couple of years ago, I was dating a girl that had not seen it, and same thing while we were dating, I made her watch all of them as well.
You're watching them. Here we go. Let's go.
Right.
Date night this whole
Yeah.
weekend. Don't plan anything. Here's what we're
Right.
doing.
Exactly. And I feel like, though, it's one of those things. I'm an adult and I love them still, but I feel like it's one of those things. If you don't watch it when you're a kid first, you're not going to appreciate them nearly as much.
Oh yeah, and like you said, like I love the original trilogy.
Mhm.
Huge fan of them. I'm not one of those people that will bash a movie because it wasn't good. Listen, there's other things that we need to worry about than a movie
Right.
or a team
Yeah.
or anything like that. Get over yourself.
Right. 100%.
All right. So a couple more questions here and then I'll let you go. I promise. Okay. Excuse me. I apologize.
Mhm.
Do you think that aliens exist?
No, I'm not a big alien person.
No? Is it because
No.
you don't want them to exist, or is it because you truly do not believe that they exist?
I truly do not believe they exist.
Okay. All right.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong once before, but
We leave it up to, the possibility that it could happen.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying there's no way. That's my opinion.
All right. Last but not least,
Okay.
pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
I will never choose to put pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
But if it's being served to me, I will eat it, and I can handle it. But I would never willingly say
Go out
yes.
of your way to choose pineapple on
Right.
pizza.
But
I
I
will
will
accept
say-
that.
I will say if you are going to put pineapple on pizza, you should do it with barbecue sauce, because I used to work at Papa John's as well, and that was one of our style pizzas, and way better if you're going to put pineapple on there, it goes way better with the barbecue sauce. That's my little pizza
okay.
tip.
All right. All right. I will try it next time.
All right, let me know what you think.
I will. Okay. So I've already said your Instagram, but your Twitter, but where else can people find you on social media?
So I'm on Twitter. Like I said, you said the username. I'm on my personal Instagram is the same username. And then there's that baseball Instagram that we talked about earlier, the
Yep.
Born to Baseball. And those are the only real things I'm like super active on for
Okay.
social media.
And I'll put it on the notes so that way people are able to go ahead and make sure to follow you. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me anytime. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And I want to see this ranking because I want to see my Guardians go up on the list when we get the new updates.
Yes, I will. I'll totally go there next year. Hopefully, they'll have some updates with the new Guardian stuff. And send me your email, and I'll forward you this whole spreadsheet.
Love it. I will, my friend.
All right.
Take care.
You too.
I hope you guys enjoy that episode. I know I did. Make sure you guys are following Mike. He's on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm going to put all his information on the show notes so that way you guys know where to find it. Before I go, make sure you guys are subscribed to the podcast so that way you guys are always in the know. You guys never miss an episode. And there's a couple episodes there. If you have not listened to it, go ahead and do so. It's a lot of fun. And then if you feel inclined to do so, give it 5 stars so that way the show goes up on the ranking and more people get to enjoy it. If you're looking for video versions of that, it is also on my YouTube channel. I will also put the link to all of the shows. Okay. All right, guys. So please keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTommaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick and Corey of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curve Brand Media at curvebrandmedia.com.